for hard work is more work. To roll out the drums to celebrate hard-working and dedicated workers is motivation for higher productivity. Nigerian Shippers Council recognizes and celebrates staff commitment and selfless service.
To keep getting more awards, until I get to the best, just like the Stella Award. You see that Stella Award, so elating.
I'm delighted, I'm happy for the award given to me, and also my colleague in Abuja office and my director for recognizing me as the recipient of this award.
We have highlights of the agency's 2022 CEO Annual Service Award held in Lagos, plus how a major operator of the nation's maritime industry sought to realign with Nigerian Shippers Council for improved service. Welcome to another episode of The Shipper. My name is Abike Idowu. Please stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
Nigerian Shippers Council, they to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you.
Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council, they feel in a parole now for every level. And as soon as goods, they move from port A, go enter port B with a measure within on a needle. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem where shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily lane. Papa email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
For you, we dey gidigba,
Nigerian Shippers Council with the meeting now for the port of Onani.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us. Adeshino Abiodun covered that event for The Shipper. His report is presented by Lucy Ulugbe.
The success of any organization depends largely on the quality of its staff. This is why responsive and forward-looking organizations invest in human capital development to build competent and productive workforces to deliver on their mandates. For most firms and government establishments like Nigerian Shippers Council, it does not end at training of staff. The introduction of other incentives, such as rewarding hard-working members of staff, is another form of building capacity. The CEO Annual Service Award is Nigerian Shippers Council's way of boosting staff morale and rewarding commitment. It's a unique ceremony that captures staff of Shippers Council across the country to engender the right attitude to work. For the Executive Secretary, Nigerian Shippers Council, Emmanuel Jime, the award is a unique platform to reward hard work.
Truly excited to have the opportunity to zoom into this very important event, an event that has begun to take a life of its own. Because it has been very comforting to witness firsthand the excitement and enthusiasm that welcomed the first edition. And now, here we are holding the second edition of CASA amidst great excitement, even at the outstations. The teams and individuals getting the various awards today embody what we need in the Council to foster sustainable and inclusive growth, great skills, new ideas, and drive for a greater NSC. The Council is indeed blessed to have staff members all across our offices whose dedication and commitment have shaped and contributed towards our successes in many ramifications.
The awards are in different categories. They are Commendation, Appreciation, Stellar, and Integrity Awards. At the departmental level, Finance and Accounts emerged winner, followed by Consumer Affairs, which ranked second, while Human Resource came third. Others were Regulatory Services, Public Relations Units, and Lokoja Area Office, while Deputy Director Special Duties Moses Fadipe went home with the Stellar Award. Hassan Ibrahim of General Services Department won the Integrity Award.
You keep doing what you know best to the best of your ability, and you are being rewarded for it. You'll be a happy man in whatever way you can think of, because your hard work is being recognized. Your hard work is being acknowledged. and your hard work equally will be emulated by some other people around to know that it pays to work hard, and one day there will be a reward.
From the North Central Zone and Lokoja particularly, I know that this will actually boost activities that we're carrying out at the Lokoja, and stakeholders will actually, this commendation is actually for the stakeholders, because they've assisted us, identified with us, and partnered with us to actually have this recognition that we're actually having today. I want to dedicate this this commendation that was given to me today by the ES CEO, to the Chambers of Commerce and Industry, to the Shippers Association, to NASI, and all the Miners Association, and particularly to my staff that have done very well in supporting me achieve this feat and the recognition we're actually enjoying today.
No fewer than 24 members of staff got the Appreciation Award.
It's really a deserving award. All the awardees, you can see one special or unique performance that really warrants the award. It's not just to look at probably position on whatever, but it is selected based on the performance, the input in the organization.
It is an event that makes the staff of the Nigerian Shippers Council to be on their toes, to work harder, because it is to this end that staff will sit on their duty posts to do what is right and what is good for the upliftment of the Nigerian Shippers Council.
I would have not got this award without the support of my co-colleagues, because one tree can never make a forest. My colleague really gave me support to ensure that we achieve success in terms of fiscal examination inspection, in terms of the containerized terminals, and also in terms of the inbound vessel coming to Nigerian ports. We ensure that we do our due diligence and ensure that all the government authorities on board vessels do their own work when due. The time given stipulated by the Nigerian Port Process Manual must have to be achieved. And any infraction found on board the vessels, we intervene. Our work, we use civility, and we ensure that we do corrective measures.
Other recipients of awards expressed gratitude to management of Council and pledged their determination to work assiduously to help Nigerian Shippers Council deliver on its mandate.
I was so excited receiving the award. I dedicate the award to God Almighty and to my director in Port Harcourt, Mr. Glory, for believing so much in me, for taking his time to bring out the best in me, for finding me worthy for nomination. And also my fellow staff, because it is a team work for this kind of award to come up. I really appreciate God Almighty for the award.
It's an honor, and I really appreciate my boss, Mr. Dan Orumen, and also the complaint unit staff. It's with their permission I'm able to receive this, because it's a teamwork actually, so I don't believe this award is just for me, it's for the unit.
I feel great, I feel excited, I feel fulfilled. See me receiving an award for the first time in Shippers Council, so I feel fulfilled, I'm happy.
We had people winning awards from the outstations, and they had to come to Lagos. They were invited to come and collect their awards, and the excitement was in the air. I mean, the excitement concerning CASA, I mean, it was everywhere. People came in, the different colors. Every unit, department, and outstation office had its own color. And of course, it was quite colorful. We had, for instance, Abuja was in royal blue. Yeah, and they look very, very regal. And also the HR, royal blue. You could, in the picture, you'll see the head HR looking very splendid in the royal blue, and I think Dr. Rickett, and that was their color. So most of them had it. What about the complaints unit? They were smashing. They had the yellow color, the yellow cap, yellow t-shirts. It was beautiful. It was very, very exciting, very hilarious occasion. And what about the card? They had this sweet green, and they looked very, very, very wonderful in that green. It was wow. It was just a landslide. If you want to compare it, this was richer. It was, yes, much more inspiring, I believe. We had fewer numbers in 2021, but in 2023, we had about 46 people, and it can only be better.
In another development, top management staff of AP Mola Terminal, led by the company's regional managing director, Igor van den Isen, was at Nigerian Shippers Council in Lagos, where they were received by the representative of the executive secretary. The regional managing director told the executive secretary that APMT intends to deepen the long-lasting relations with Shippers Council.
I know that we have a strong partner to do that process with. I like your analogy of process and procedure, right? We sometimes forget that. And that means that from both sides, we need to invest in that relationship. Because ultimately we have the same aim. You have the aim to make sure the shippers get ease of use, the shippers can grow their businesses. We want to grow our business, and together we want to grow the country.
With APMT's huge investment worth over $100 million, he told the executive secretary that such partnership between the organizations will translate into growth of the industry and the economy. He disclosed that the company is constantly looking for ways to develop a viable shipping process.
The flow of the goods is not restricted to what happens within our terminal and on the water side. It is also connected to what happens outside. So the infrastructure outside, but also the administrative procedures that we need together make more efficient. For example, we discussed rail. Rail is crucial for access to the boxes, get it off the terminal and get it inland. I think that's the journey we have embarked together and where we need to find solutions.
The Executive Secretary, Nigerian Shippers Council, Emmanuel Jime, who spoke through Director Regulatory Services, Ifoma Ezedima, urged management of AP Mola to collaborate with the Nigerian Railway Corporation to see to the restoration of rail linkage for the evacuation of cargoes from the port, especially to the inland dry ports. The Shippers Council boss urged APMT to register with the council to affirm its place as a regulated service provider. According to the chief executive, the need to digitalize the entire port process cannot be overemphasized.
We have the same goal, to ease business, fair trade practices, and of course, to ensure that cargo doesn't sit in your port indefinitely. An organization that has integrity, because of course, you have to protect your name and all. I also know that Nigeria is not an easy place to be in. I also know that your first port of call is MPA. If you want anything, you go to MPA. But Shippers Council has been set up to protect also your interests. So if you have any challenges in any form with anybody in the government sector, please let us know so that we can actually meet those people on your behalf. That's also one of the reasons why we are here.
Director, Consumer Affairs Department of the Council, Chief Kajitan Agu, expects terminal operators to be fair and quality conscious and urged operators to take advantage of the opportunity in the system to ensure efficient export process.
What do we actually expect from terminals? What Shippers Council expects from terminals is quality service. In delivering that quality service, we're equally interested in ensuring that there is a reduction in cargo dwell time at ports. It hurts us, as a regulator, when we now compare, the indices, Nigeria, Ghana, other neighboring countries, and we discover that we are still on the high side in terms of cargo dwell time. Good enough, we have equally identified that your terminal, in terms of equipment, is doing very, very well. Correct equipment is equally very, very important to us as a regulator. The issue of even the container moves per hour, we have been checking that, comparing Nigeria with other countries, and you discover that we are not doing very well. We should be, in front in terms of container moves. I'm happy now I learned that there is now a mobile scanner. That's good news. Because this issue of positioning of container for examination, it has been of concern to us. People come to complain. We made a request for our container to be positioned. It took days. So we want a situation where there is an improvement, on that. Then we will be happy if maybe the time that vessels spend, at berth are minimally, reduced. You know, because when you look at the cost of doing business in Nigeria, it has been on the high side. So we plead that something should be done.
Chief Financial Officer APMT, Courage Obadagboyin, disclosed that APMT was undergoing transformation and has acquired infrastructure for improved services. He pleaded with the council to intervene by discussing with other stakeholders.
Our cost structure is dollarized because of the tariffs we pay to the NPA in dollars, which we have not been able to convert to nairas at this point. And the only way to improve access to dollars, obviously, is to help the country expand its exports, right, which today is poor. So immediately the central bank announced this R200 scheme to expand non-oil exports to 200 billion within 3-4 years from when it was announced 2 years ago. We latched into it. And we've made representations to the National Export Promotion Council. I've personally had a meeting with the CEO in Abuja. We've also made representations directly to the CBN about what we can do and what we are doing to facilitate export trade. We've invested in a facility in Onne where we outside WACT, but within the Ocean Terminal, FOT, where customers are able to consolidate their cargo, do the documentation, and fast-track exports. And we are looking for other opportunities within the country to be able to do that.
For General Manager, Legal and Corporate Affairs, APMT, Chineye Dende, the huge potential in Nigeria requires serious collaboration. She noted that each terminal has its peculiar challenges.
The challenges that are faced by terminals are totally different from those that are faced by shipping lines. So I think it's something that needs to be amplified going forward. And then also focusing on the Ministry of Transportation. Sincerely, from between 2021 and now, there has been improvement in interdepartmental collaborations. And we are seeing better collaboration between NPA, Shippers Council, but it can get better and it should get better for the benefit of the industry as a whole. So I will speak to the issue of rails, for example. So we are, like Frederick said, this is key, is a key selling point for us at APM terminals. But we also need NRC to work because when you are selling a product to customers, what's the visibility on the number of calls? We need to be sure how often, because these are things that impact on buyers' confidence. So when we tell them you can use rails and then they have things to take and the trains are not available. So while we are waiting for the new lines, and this whole drama about the customs examination era, there is a narrow gauge that is available. How efficient are we making it?
For the management of APMT and other stakeholders, be rest assured of our cooperation at the Nigerian Shippers Council to grow the maritime industry. Oluwasegun Aluko is on standby with tidbits.
The navigational charts of Lower Niger River have been unveiled by stakeholders in the maritime sector as part of efforts to develop inland waterways in Nigeria. The unveiling marks the completion of phases 1 and 2 of the Joint Hydrographic Survey campaign. The project, funded by Nigerian Export-Import Bank in partnership with the Nigerian Navy, Sealing Consortium, and National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, aims to boost Nigeria's economy and tourism. The charts cover a distance of 994 kilometers from Jamata, Lokoja in Kogi State to Burutu in Delta State. It will facilitate the transport of bulk cargoes through the channel, reducing pressure on roads and impact the economy positively. Director, South-South Zone, Nigerian Shippers Council, Mr. Glory Onojedo, has expressed concern about the cargo throughput at Port Harcourt International Airport. These concerns were highlighted during the first quarter meeting of Air Freight Stakeholders Forum, Port Harcourt chapter. The meeting held at the Port Harcourt International Airport Conference Hall was chaired by Mr. Chris Chukwudi, the station manager of a freight forwarding company. The low cargo throughput at the airport was attributed to factors such as insecurity, economic crisis affecting oil prices, custom procedures, and stakeholders not exploring the option of export of agricultural products. The meeting was well attended and stakeholders underscored the importance of addressing these issues to improve cargo throughput at the airport. Again, we are appealing to stakeholders in the maritime industry to visit our website, www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng for further information about our services and to utilize the PSSP portal www.pssp.ng to report any complaints. Now, let's take a look at our complaints register for the week. We received a total of 8 complaints during the week of 2nd April to 8th April 2023. 3 of these complaints have been resolved, while 5 are ongoing investigations. The grievances reported encompass matters such as abandonment of cargoes, outrageous demurrage, detention of cargo, forgery and stealing, overdue payments, and group pay charges. It's time to catch up on the latest developments in global shipping. Dutch custom yacht builder Oceano has delivered Kourou, the world's largest sailing super yacht, to its new owner. Priced at $500 million, the 127-meter-long vessels boast a height of around 230 feet and requires a crew of about 40 sailors to operate. Kourou's completion comes after a 5-year construction period, during which it faced controversies, including the need to dismantle a historic bridge in Rotterdam to allow the yacht to pass. The delivery of Kourou is a remarkable milestone in the world of luxury yachting, showcasing the industry's craftsmanship and innovation. Ocean Network Express 1 has launched its One Eco calculator, which calculates carbon dioxide emissions from its operating vessels. The tool is part of the company's effort to reach net zero emission and allows customers to choose a more environmentally friendly service. Units are expressed as either tank-to-wake (TTW), a measure of emissions from burning fuel which has been stored in a tank, or well-to-wake (WTW), a measure of emissions from fuel production, delivery, and use aboard ships. One's green strategy, unveiled in March 2022, underscores the company's commitment to achieving net zero emission. Valencia Port in Spain has conducted a test flight of an electric airship for security and traffic control as part of the autonomous stratospheric platforms for maritime monitoring project. Developed by Spanish startup Smart Hubs under the Ports 4.0 program, the project aims to study the visibility of using high-altitude studio satellite for port operations. Equipped with a gyro-stabilized optical camera, the airship could provide real-time data on pollution, vessel movement, and port logistics, enhancing safety and security while reducing costs and environmental impacts. And that concludes the update for this week's Tidbits.
The Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency, and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos, or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
This is where we say goodbye. But before I leave, remember that as a regulated service provider, it is compulsory to register with Nigerian Shippers Council. Join us again next week for another edition of your favorite maritime program. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.